Hey guys, welcome to another round of yoga. Hope you've had a good day, you're ready to move. Go ahead and get yourself situated. So if you're not already seated on the mat, get there. If you're going to play any music along with your workout today, go ahead and hit play on that playlist. Otherwise, go ahead and get seated. Make sure it's something comfortable. So go ahead and sit cross-legged, butterfly position, whatever comfortable is for you. Let's do this. So sit nice and tall, kind of rocking maybe side to side on those sits bones just to really find your base, root down, and then grow through the crown of the head whenever you get there. Closing the eyes gently, comfortably. If it's not comfortable to close the eyes, then finding a focus point, your drishti out in front of you, just gazing forward. Taking a nice inhale through the nose. Open up your mouth, exhale. Do that again. Nice big inhale. Exhale, maybe even stick out your tongue on this exhale. Do one more breath in and out through your mouth. Just feel those face muscles relax. Start to bring your breath in and out through the nose. And just feeling your breath for a moment, feeling how it's flowing in and out. Where is it filling up? Are you keeping it up in your chest? Or are you able to expand a little bit more down into your diaphragm, down into your belly? Neither's right or wrong, but see if you can't work to fill up those lungs a little bit more. And as you exhale, working to get every last little bit of air out. Noticing a relaxing feeling coming down your shoulders with each exhale. And maybe you feel a little bit more rooted into the ground when you do. Take just a couple more breaths here. Maybe set an intention for your practice today. Be as simple as just moving through the whole class. Maybe your intention today is to honor your body and make sure that you take the options that are right for you. Or perhaps your intention is dedicated to somebody else other than yourself. You're going to practice for someone today. Go ahead and breathe in some positivity towards that thought, towards that intention. Exhale any last negative thoughts, any stress from your day, and start moving those arms up overhead. And exhale and back down to your side. Good. Inhale back up. And exhale back out. Good. Feel free to keep your eyes closed as long as you'd like. Otherwise, blink them open whenever that's right for you. And start putting some energy, some power behind these arms. Feel yourself scoop up and relax back down. Good, take two more. Good, take one more. And on this next exhale, reach your right arm behind your back, your left to the knee or thigh, and just gently twist. Take a breath here, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little further, maybe looking back over your shoulder. And then inhaling back to center, arms come up. Exhale over to the other side. Drop that hand on the thigh or the knee. Still lengthening through the spine, taking those breaths. And on your next inhale, bring it back up. Do that again. Exhale, float those hands down. Inhale. Exhale, other side. Continue one breath per movement. And this is where I want you to start working on lengthening your breath. So the more you can lengthen your exhale, the more you're going to be able to get into that twist. Inhaling to lengthen back center. And as you get into the last few rotations, make sure you're not forcing the twist, but going somewhere that feels good on your body. One more each side. Bringing the arms back up and center. floating them down into heart center. And taking a quick breath. Good. Go ahead and let one leg come behind, giving yourself these zigzag shaped legs. You might again want to rock a little bit so that you can try to plant both hips down. That back hip has had tendency to pop up on us. Try to bring it down. And I simply want you just to take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, turn your body towards the front knee, bring the arms down around it, and start gently walking forward. We're not going to be here long, but we're going to be here long enough that you start to feel a stretch. And then slowly start to walk the hands over and out in front of the shin and over the foot until you find just the right stretch for you and your hip. Take a big breath here. Exhale, let the head and the neck relax for a moment. And then inhale yourself back up, walk the hands in. Sit up nice and tall, and we're gonna start moving through those hips. So I want you to start taking the knees, rotate, and set them down. So you're pushing through the heels, lifting through the knees, rotating, and bringing them back down. Yeah, so a little bit of hip mobility. The goal is to do it without your hands, but if you need to kind of push with your hands to get you to move, that's okay. We're still warming up. Now, every time you get to one side, I want you to find those sits bones, sit up really tall. So really solidify the move. Yeah. Once you get it down, if you've been using those hands, see if you can't lift them up. You might feel your back trying to round as you do that. That's okay, it's gonna happen, but we're gonna try to fight that. Just give me 2 more, or whatever takes you to the other side so that your other leg is in front. Yeah. Good. Go ahead and get to that other side. Readjust. You may not be at the front of your mat anymore, and that's okay. Sit up tall, square your hips again. Take the arms up. Rotate towards that front knee, and then exhale the hands down around it. Start walking your way out. Walking your way out. And then slowly walking it over. You're more in front of your shin. Slowly walking it more, maybe till you get to your foot. Stopping whenever you find the right stretch for you, and just taking a breath or 2. Good. Feel free to let some of those exhales come out your mouth. Nice. Just take one more breath wherever you've landed, and then slowly press your weight back up. Bring your knees to center, and then just kind of let them fall down and over into all fours. So get those hands right underneath your wrists, knees underneath your hips, and you can just start wagging your tail right to left, right to left. Maybe your hip reaches so far out to the side that you start to feel the stretch up into your obliques. Just a couple more of these. And then bring yourself back to neutral. Curl your toes under and press into the palms and the feet. Hover the knees. Hold here. Let's start to activate through the core. Roll the shoulders back. And on your next breath, take your right leg back to plank. Left leg follows. Hold plank. Good. Walk those feet back in. Hover the knees right under the hips. And then hike the hips, find that narrow down dog. It's extra narrow. Get a quick stretch. And then exhale, lower the knees, hover them right above the mat. Let's step back with our left foot this time. Left, then right, left, then right. Hike those hips up again, find your narrow down dog. Go where it's comfortable. If your heels can touch completely, great. If they can't, no big deal. Come back down, hover those knees. Let's walk back again. Right foot, left foot. Hold plank. This time we're lifting up here, hips back. This is your more natural down dog. Now I want you to pedal out through those heels. Yeah. And then find yourself steady. Take a breath. Exhale, bring yourself back to plank. Step it in right, then left. Good, go again, left, then right. Lift the hips, find your down dog again. Stretch, press your chest towards your shins. Maybe pedal out the feet if that felt nice last time. and then shift. Last time into plank. Last walk. Bring your left in, bring your right in. Drop your knees extra wide, big toes together, sink down into child's pose. Let your hips come to your heels, your arms come out. If you're gonna take one today, this is the one I want you to take. Really relax through the upper body. Let your head rest on the mat if it's comfortable. Feel the hip compression. Good. On your next inhale, reach a little bit further through the fingertips. Pull your body forward. Find your way into a kneeling plank. So maybe narrow out those knees a little bit if you feel like they became extra wide. Kneeling plank for now. Squeeze the elbows in and under. Point your middle fingers forward and let's lower down into chaturanga. Hover it right above the mat. Exhale, push back up. Good, let's do that again. Squeeze your butt, engage your core, come on down. Exhale, press away. One more time. All the way, hover right above the mat. Exhale, press right back up. Curl your toes, hike the hips, down dog. Good, just warming up those arms. Take your eyes towards your hands. Step or float your way to the front of your mat. Find your way to a forward fold. Good, relax when you get there. Take a full breath. Inhale. Exhale, release the head. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale the hands down into heart center. And give me another big inhale. Stretch, arch if it feels comfortable back, and then swan dive forward, fold down. Hands below the knees, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or float back to plank. Hold your plank. Give me a full breath in, a full breath out. One more inhale. As you exhale, chaturanga from your knees or toes. Lift cobra or up dog, you choose. Relaxing the shoulders from the ears, and then curling those toes back and under. Find your way back, down dog or child's pose. Yes, good job. Pedal out the heels. Relax your head between the arms if you are in that down dog position. Take your eyes to your hands. Step or float forward. Find your way to fold. Take a full breath here. And reverse swan dive on your next inhale. Big stretch up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take another inhale. Big stretch up and back. Open up through those front hip flexors, and on your exhale, fold big, flatten the back, come down. Hands below the knees, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or float back to plank. Take it through your vinyasa. Chaturanga, up dog or cobra, look straight ahead, and then take it back, down dog or child's pose. Breathe, nice big breaths here, 3 of them. Take another inhale, another exhale, and then narrow out your feet. Get to back to down dog if you're not already there. Right leg comes up high. On an exhale, it steps through to the hands, plant it down, and let the heel drop behind you for warrior 1. Inhale to lift. Exhale to sink. Hold this for a moment on this first one. So let's remember our stance. We're turning the hips forward. We're squaring our body. And if we can't get those hips forward, maybe we need to adjust where our foot is placed, right? Toes coming up to that corner. Sink down a little lower if you can. Wiggle those front toes. One more breath. And then exhale, hands back down around the foot. Step it back to plank. Let's vinyasa. Knees or toes. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, back, down dog or child's pose. Good. Go where you need to go. Remember, we're listening to our body today and every day. One more breath. And then move your way back into down dog whenever you're ready. Hiking those hips high, narrowing out the feet, and letting our left leg get a nice big stretch to the sky. Exhale, step it through to the hands with control. Swivel that back foot down to warrior 1. Brace your core, inhale to rise. Sink down, square your body. You might physically feel the backside of that leg, that calf stretch out as you rotate your hip forward. That's good. We want to feel the stretch going all the way down our leg, connecting that pinky side of the foot to the mat. Sink just a little bit lower. Take a breath. And then exhale those hands back down around your foot. Step it back to plank. Take your version of your vinyasa. Or skip it. You can always skip it. And breathe. Take those breaths. One more big one, maybe exhale through your mouth. Let your eyes look towards your hands. Step or float forward. Reverse swan dive up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale back up, arch the back. Swan dive forward. Hands below the knees, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or float back to plank. Take it through your vinyasa one more time for now. Your variation. Take it back. You get 3 breaths wherever you choose, and then we're gonna meet back in down dog. Bringing those feet right behind the hips, or maybe a little more narrow. I always like my toes to touch when we're about to lift. Take another breath. Meet me in down dog if you're not there. And let's start with our right heel. Lift up your right heel high to the sky, trying to keep the toes pointed to the ground. So maybe it's not gonna go as high as it would normally. You should feel a stretch in both hamstrings right now. On your exhale, shift your body weight forward, bring the knee into the chest, hover it right there. Good, on your exhale, take that leg back up. Inhale and exhale that leg back behind you. Open up your hip now. Good. Take a breath. And rotate your hips back around. Step that foot all the way up through the hands with control. Find your low lunge. Good. Inhale up, high crescent lunge. Arms come up. Once you've found your balance, you're sinking down. Take that right arm, sweep it down and back. Front arm comes forward, twist towards your front leg. Perfect. Hold this here. Stay here if this feels nice. Otherwise, take that right arm back to the hamstring, left to the sky. Reverse your twist. Beautiful. So you're turning towards that front leg. It's gonna help your balance just a little bit more. One more breath here. Bring yourself back up. Rotate center. And then open into warrior 2. Turn that back foot parallel with the mat, readjust. Getting your front heel in line with the middle of your foot, and then stretch those arms out. Tuck your hips under. Make sure the knee and the toe are going in the same direction, and you can still see those toes. Hold this here, and then let's move. I want you to take it up, straighten that leg. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, and exhale. Move with your breath, and then move with thought and control. So we're essentially moving out and in of this warrior 2 position every time we move. And so we've got to reset, making sure that we're right where we need to be. 2 more. 1 more. Hold it down. Look over those front fingers. On an inhale, reach up, pivot that right foot, that front foot forward. So you're in a straddle position. Then exhale, swan dive forward, straddle, fold. Yeah. Good. Adjust here. Your feet might turn slightly inward, but I just want you to hang heavy here. Hands can be down for support. Maybe you want to grab to the outsides of your legs and gently pull yourself through a little further. Or perhaps you'd like to reach the hands through your legs and keep walking those hands a little further. And before you know it, the crown of your head is reaching for the ground. Stay here. Release the arms on your next breath. Bring them right back into center. Push your body up, flatten that back, and then walk towards your right foot or your front foot. Rotate both feet forward, step your back foot forward to pyramid. Good. So now you might be, have some bent knees, and that's okay because our hands are on the ground. This is a pretty big stretch for our hamstrings. But if you can, straighten out the legs as best you can and try to even the weight between the two. Hold this and then start walking your hands out in front of your foot, making a tripod. When you're ready, exhale, shift the weight into the front foot, lift that back leg up, standing splits. So I want you to do your best to keep your hips closed. Point all 5 toes to the ground. Stay here if this feels good. If you'd like to take a challenge and go into half moon, I'm gonna walk you through it. So your right hand is gonna go right in front of your right foot. Now slowly start to turn the hip and the toe open. And then when you're ready, if you've got balance, I want you to take your left arm off the ground, peel it open, and stack it on top of the other. Now, if you've got this, start working on your gaze. Let your gaze go out in front, maybe up to the sky. You can stop at any of those transitions. Maybe you're still in standing splits, that's okay. This is all progressions. You go where you wanna go. Hold where you're at for 3. Hold for 2 nice strong breaths. Hold for 1, come back down, hand, eyes, turn your hip, set the foot down next to the other, forward fold, reverse swan dive up, big inhale. Exhale, hands, heart center. Nice job. Feel free to pedal out those heels, kind of shake out the legs in the standing position. Good job. Take a really big inhale, stretch back with that arch if it's comfortable. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands below the knees, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or float back to plank. Take your vinyasa or skip it. Meet back in down dog or child's pose. Hips back, hands out. And breathe. Excellent work. If you're in child's pose, maybe relaxing the elbows down to the mat or reaching the hands all the way back to the heels. Just going somewhere that's comfortable, that's relaxing. It's actually a rest. You've got another breath here. And then when you're ready, you're shifting your weight forward, hiking those hips, making your way back into down dog, bringing the feet hip width or more, shifting the weight backwards, trying to push the chest towards the shins. Let's go left leg. Left leg lifts high. Good, keep the hip closed. Take a breath, and as you exhale, bring the knee into the chest, hovered above the mat. Little bit of a round in the back is just fine. And then take it right back up. Big stretch up. Open up the hip this time. Let the heel fall back behind. Feel that hip opening up. Take a breath. Rotate it back around. Exhale, bring it through to the hands. Step it down. Low lunge. Low lunge here. Inhaling up when you're ready. Finding your balance. Relax those shoulders. Breathe here, and then open up warrior 2. Good, so just like always, adjust. Get your stance set. Arms are out. Stack your shoulders on your hips, your knee on your ankle, and feel like you're ripping the mat apart as you hold this. Give those front toes a wiggle, and on your next inhale, lift up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale up. Exhale, sink down. You gotta release that leg at the top, that's nice. But then we gotta go back down. I want you going nice and low, challenging yourself as you get a little bit lower. You've got 3. Good, you've got 2. 1 more, and we're holding it down in warrior 2. Keep that gaze. Then inhale, bring those toes forward. Exhale, swan dive forward. Find that straddle fold again. Straddle fold again. This time your toes can be more forward. They might even adjust out to the corners of your mat. And I just want you to start shifting side to side. So you're shifting your weight side to side into a nice low lunge. Your chest is most likely pretty forward at this point, but I want you to see if you can't try to start lifting your chest. Yeah. And then maybe even coming down a little bit lower so that those hips drop inside by the heels. Your extended leg toes are welcome to pop up if that's comfortable. Yeah. Use all the help you need from those hands, but if you can do it without your hands, that's an even bigger challenge, right? Let's get back to the right side and hold. Go to one side and hold. Whatever your hold is, whether it's nice and high, hips are higher, hands can rest on the ground or the leg, or if you can drop those hips, pop the toe, and lift the chest. Yeah, good. Go where you feel best. Hold this for 2 breaths. One more breath. And we're shifting with or without your hands, whatever you need, lift and shift. Good, sink where you go comfortably, but something that you find a good challenge, a good change for your body. Good, lift that chest as best you can. Give it 2 breaths. Good, give it another breath. Relax those hands down if you need. Press yourself back to center. Hang in that forward fold for a nice deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, open up the mouth. And then start walking towards that front foot, turning your body, stepping the back foot forward into pyramid. So readjust on your mat if you need to. I kind of got a little bit shifted. Your feet are about a foot apart from each other. Shift the weight. Hands can be on the mat with some soft bent knees, or perhaps on the shins if you prefer. But remember, we're going to continue to progress this. So whenever you're ready, make the tripod out of your foot and your hands. Start shifting your weight into that front foot and gently just float the leg off the ground, keeping the hips closed, all 5 toes pointing down. Hang on to this. This is your base move. You do not need to move from here, but if you want to. We're taking our left hand in front of our left foot. The hand should be right underneath the shoulder. And then slowly start to turn the hip first. Open it up, point the toes to the side of your mat. And then slowly open up through the shoulder, through the chest. Arm reaches overhead, letting your eyes gaze up last. Or never, right? Sometimes our gaze has got to stay right where it's at for our balance. Stay in this as best you can, or wherever you're at as best you can. We're holding for 3. Holding for 2. Holding for 1 more, bringing it down hand first. Close your shoulders, close your hips, set the foot down. Woo, reverse swan dive up. Good work. Inhale. Exhale those hands to heart center and kind of shake it out. Nice job. If you need to lift the legs, do what you gotta do. Then come on back. Give me a big inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands below the knees, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands down, step or float back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Down dog or child's pose. Right? Open up the mouth, exhale. If you're in child's pose, maybe widening those knees, allowing your body to drop a little bit heavier in between the legs. If you're in down dog, doing what you need to here to get those extra stretches. Give yourself 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, just shift forward. Make your way back into your down dog. And I'd like you to walk or float forward. Look towards those hands, walk or float forward. Get into your forward fold here. Relaxing your body over the legs. Maybe give your head a shake no. And give your head a shake yes. We're gonna hang out here for 3 or 4 nice deep breaths. So if you wanna grab elbow to elbow and hang over your legs, maybe do that. Maybe you want to hug your legs. Or I personally enjoy keeping my hands right on the mat. It gives me some support for my low back. Wherever you are, give me 2 more breaths. One more good deep breath. I want you to ragdoll up to standing as slow as you can. 1 vertebrae at a time. Try to be the last one up. Squeezing those glutes to help you lift. Rolling the shoulders, then letting that head come up. Good. Just give yourself a few shoulder rolls whenever you get there. And then inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands down into heart center. Start to shift your weight into your left foot, kicking that right foot back into the hand. So just grabbing gently onto the foot, easy quad stretch here. You're looking out for the hip, that you haven't sat into the hip. We're still stacking joints, so ankle, knee, hip, all the way up through that shoulder. Stay here. The left hand can be at heart center. Maybe it wants to be on the hip. You decide where it's best for you. And then if you'd like to go a little bit further, we're gonna take our right hand, flip it to the inside of the foot. Flip it so it's holding the big toe side of the foot. And now gently start to kick into the hand and extend that front arm out and away for dancer's pose. Now I prefer an upward lift rather than a forward hinge. So as you're kicking into your hand, continue to kick that leg up, 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 and you'll feel this opening up the hip, opening up the chest, gazing out in front of you. If your low back starts to feel this, reduce that kick and stand a little taller. Good, wherever you're at, quad stretcher dancers, I want you to hold for 3, hold for 2, hold for 1. You're gonna come back and slowly quad stretch. Release your foot, but do not set it down if you can help it. Bring it out in front, lift the knee. Arms can be up or at heart center, and I want you to give me 5 kicks. Extend your leg, pull it back in. Extend the bottom of the foot out, pull it back in. 3 more, full extension. However high that leg is the right height. 2 more. 1 more here. Good. Slowly set that foot down, drag your hands down into heart center. And shift that weight. Pedal out the heels here. Maybe even give it a little kick or rotation of the left. Find your perfect balance spot. If that wasn't it, adjust. Maybe shift forward and back from toe to heel. And let's inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale those hands back down, heart center. Shift the weight. We're going into the other leg now, most likely your right. Make sure that you don't sink into the hip, you just shift your weight. Slowly kicking that hand back or foot into the hand. Draw the knees together, give your hips a little push forward. Hang here for as long as you'd like. And then when you're ready, flip the hand, bring it to the inside, that big side. Maybe you just flip the hand and hold this, right? But if you want that little extra, we're starting to kick our foot into our hand. Connect them, find that tension. Front arm stretches out. Find your dancer's pose. You can make the expression of this pose as big or small as you want. Feel your core tightening up to hold you steady. That leg is still in line with the hip. It hasn't gone out to the side. Hold this 3. Hold this 2. Hold this for 1. Bring yourself back in with control. Gently let go, but don't set down. Swing it through. Balance. Knees in line with the hip. Flex your foot. Hands are upper heart. And as you exhale, kick out. Inhale back in. 4 more. Ooh, good. Keep that balance. Reset if you lose it. 2 more. 1 more big extension through that heel. Yes. Set it down. Pull the hands to heart center. And shake it out, shake it out. Do what you gotta do. When you're ready, plant those feet down again. Find your dristi and inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Fold over the legs. Hands below the knees, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands down. Step or float back to your plank. Take your vinyasa or skip it. Beautiful work. Take just a few more breaths wherever you've landed. And then we're all gonna meet on all fours. So whenever you're ready to shift back, you know all fours. Turn the middle fingers so they're pointed straight forward. Elbow creases are forward to help relax the shoulders. Pull in on the core, and let's take a few cat and cows. So pull in on that belly button, tuck the hips, tuck the chin, reach the crown of the head down, and then drop through the hips, the belly, lift the chest and the eyes. Good, just rotating through cat and cow. Feels a little different at the end of class. We're so used to it at the beginning to help warm us up. Feel how that spine feels a little bit different, hopefully a little bit looser. Take just a couple more, one more in each direction perhaps. And then bring yourself back to neutral. Take your right arm, open it up, reach all the way up to the sky, trying to stack the shoulders. It's gonna be tough. And then exhale, weave it underneath the other arm, hold it there. So this is like our thread the needle, but we've got high hips. So it's gonna feel just a little different. The arm that is not weaved under is there for support. It can also come up and behind our hip, opening up the shoulder just a little bit more. Take one more breath. Bring that supporting hand back to the mat. Press gently into it to pull the arm out from under. Open all the way up. Open back up to where we started, and then close it back down. Good. Other side, go ahead and reach straight up. Try to stack those shoulders as best you can. That's the tough part. And then exhale, weave it under. Keeping those hips high. Palm can point up to the ceiling. Hand rests where it comes up and behind. Good. Just breathe. If you have any stress on your neck, make sure you keep that hand down. Try to relax, get out of that neck. Take a breath. That hand's behind the back, go ahead and take it out. Everybody press up slowly, pull the arm out. Plant the right hand and lift the left, big open. Bring yourself back into your neutral and give yourself any last little movements you need here. Maybe a side to side tail wag, just like we started class with today. Maybe another cat and cow. And then once you're feeling good, just slide those knees together. Let your hip fall to one side. Extend the legs out. Readjust on your mat. Give those legs a little bit of a rumble. Get the glutes out of the way. Now go ahead and start flexing the feet and engaging the legs. You're flexing so much that the heels might even lift off the ground. Excuse me, lift off the ground. Roll the shoulders, take the arms up. And then exhale, fold your body over those legs. Allow them to go back down. The heels should touch now. Wherever you grab on the legs is the right spot. I don't care how far you go. I prefer to see how far you can reach your nose to your knees. You'll get a nice pull through your low back, stretching out that low back, and you still will likely have a stretch in your hamstrings. It's kind of that whole back side here. Take a couple more breaths. And then roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Push through those sits bones. Pull in on your belly to help you round up. Sit really tall when you get there, and then roll the shoulders down. Rumble out the legs if you need, but then straighten them back out. We're gonna roll down. So we're rolling down, rolling up, rolling down, so you know what to expect. Arms up. Exhale the arms out in front, and then start your curve. Pull in on that belly button, tuck the chin, find your C curve and start lowering down nice, slow, and controlled. Allow the legs to slide, but try not to let them lift. Reach overhead once the shoulders fully hit the ground. Big full body stretch here. And then exhale, reach those arms back up, lift the head, tuck the chin. Shoulders pop up, low back, mid back. Good. Lift, lift, lift. Find that tall posture again. One more time and we get to stay down. Pull in, C curve the body, roll down, roll down, roll down. Low back this time. I cued you wrong. Mid back, upper back, full body stretch. Once you get there, point through those toes. Maybe stretch out the toes wide, but point through them. Give those arms a big old reach. And then exhale, release the tension, pull the knees in. Pull the knees in, rock it side to side. Adjust on your mat. I slid off mine. Good. Go ahead and reach inside your legs. Grab for the outsides of your feet for your happy baby or your dead bug, I should say. And I want you just to pull down on the feet, giving some compression into the hips. If you'd like, you can always grab onto the big toes. So your pointer and your middle will grab those big toes. You cap it with your thumb, and then it's a little easier to rock side to side. This becomes a happy baby. And then you can always extend a leg and another. You're just kind of going where you want to go right now because this is about it. We're coming into these last few postures. Good. Whenever you're ready, release the feet back down to the ground. Knees are up. Arms can come out to a T or wherever they're comfortable next to you, and I want you just to windshield wiper your knees right to left. Right to left, and just feel your low back relax, release. If you'd like to let them drop all the way to the right, you look to the left, do. Just having those legs lower down your body is going to change up where and how you feel this twist compared to when we will twist from like a tabletop position, right? And then come back up and let those knees fall to the other side. They're still nice and low. This stretch is likely coming up through your hip and into your obliques if you're nice and tight like me. Take a breath. Next inhale pulls those knees back to center. You are welcome to take any last movements you need. If you'd like a bit of a bridge or a wheel, maybe you want to take the legs up the wall. But if you're good and you're satisfied, go ahead and start to find your way into your final relaxation. Stretching the legs out to the corners of the mat. Adjusting as needed so that you can lay here comfortably without thinking about how your clothes are resting, without thinking about what is next to you. Just adjust. And then start wiggling the fingers and the toes, open and close until they just relax naturally. Rolling the wrists open and the knees out. Wiggle the jaw, wiggle the nose, and on your next inhale, fill up. Fill up as much as you can. And open your mouth, side out. Do it again. Fill up those lungs. Exhale it out your mouth, all the air until you almost hear like a whistle sound because you're getting every last bit out. Take a few more nice deep breaths just in and out through the nose or whatever feels best for you. Eyes can gently close or find a spot to stare at. Really just feel your body get heavier and melt into your mat. Take this moment to let your mind turn off. Because that's not always so easy. Acknowledge any thoughts that might still float in and then send them on their way and refocus on your breath to lose that thought again. We'll be here for a handful of breaths, but I'll bring you back out. Rise and the fall of your chest, of your ribs, of your belly. And maybe wiggle your nose, your jaw. Rolling onto your side for a moment if you like to go there. Or perhaps stretching on your back, arms overhead or knees into the chest. Taking a few more breaths wherever you're at and then starting to make some moves. Some moves that sit you up just a little bit taller. Growing through those sits bones just where we started class today. As you give me just a few more inhales and exhales, revisiting your intention. Whether you felt like that intention was a success or not, you made it and you did it, and I think it was a success. Go ahead and allow the creases of your mouth to curl up. On your next inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale and pull the hands down into heart center. Thank you guys for making it. I hope you feel great. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.